All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with Mr. Cam Griffin on the Soulcast. I am your humble host, Happy Bones, and I have some more silly questions for my man Cam.
Ready for some silly answers.
Silly questions. If you were given the ability to become invisible for one day, what would you do?
Oh my God. Stalk a bunch of famous people. Well, not a bunch of them. I would just stalk.
You go learn from them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I would definitely get a loan from them, an unknowing loan.
No, I mean learn.
Learn from. Oh, learn from. Well, no. I would just walk around, just like hanging out with Paul McCartney without him knowing it. Or
Dude,
you
know that's not really Paul McCartney.
It is. He did. He did not die in 1960. Whatever. He did not.
He died in a car accident. Was
did
decapitated, and his cheeks were like all scrubbed out, so he looked like a walrus. And then the MI5 came in and they fucking made the rest of the band agree, and it was such a big money maker they couldn't let the Beatles go, and they had 50 songs backlog written between McCartney and Lennon, and so they just did those next, and that's why they didn't play live anymore.
No.
And Paul had all these. They call him Fall, fake Paul.
No, it's Paul. I saw him in Yankee Stadium a few years ago. That is Paul. It's not. It's
sure?
I'm sure.
How old are you?
Almost 30.
All right, so
I've read like 5 Beatles biographies. I've read like 2 George Harrison biographies because he's my favorite Beatle.
And George wrote them.
Well, yeah, he wrote. I mean, he had a writer, but he was like epicentered at him.
You know they couldn't say anything. They killed John because he said he was going to say. He said he was going to come out with it, and then they tried to kill George because he said he was going to come out with it later on in life, and that's why he got stabbed 17 times in his chest.
There's just all these conspiracy theories. No.
Okay, all right. I'm going to go with what you said, man. Thanks for clearing that up.
The Beatles are the biggest enigma ever just because they were around for such a short period.
It was marketing. I like marketing, man.
Huh?
Marketing.
Marketing?
It's a marketing scheme.
It is, kind of.
Conspiracy stuff.
Yeah.
All right, if you had $1 million to give away, how would you do it?
I'd give it to like 10 different charities that I all think are well worth the cause.
Dig it. Okay.
Kids cancer stuff, kids diabetes stuff like that.
I can dig it. Now, would you rather have 1 year off at your current rate of pay, or work your current job for a year at double the current rate of pay?
What was that? What was that question?
See, would you rather be off and just take a vacation with what you make now and just leave it like that and not work? Or would you rather work and make double what you make now?
Alex would kill me if I was off for a year. I wouldn't live through the year. So sure as hell take the double pay and work. I couldn't not work.
Well, a lot of times with what you do, if you're doing something you're passionate about, it's not really work.
Hell no.
But it is work.
I love it. I tell everybody I'm exhausted at the end of every day. I mean, because I go when I have something big, I go 90-0. I don't care if it's 4 months out. Like I'm pushing it. Every redneck I see in Waynesboro and Harlem and Thompson and everywhere else. But like,
what do you think about the whole hip hop country merging thing?
I hate it. I despise it. I think Luke Bryan's That's My Kind of Night's the worst song ever, and everything Florida Georgia Line's done's crap. And
I haven't heard any of that.
That's
stuff.
just my opinion.
Thank goodness.
I tell everyone I have Craig Morgan and Montgomery Gentry for a reason. Because if I'm doing real country, damn it, I'm doing real country.
Somebody just turned me on to this band called The Lax.
The Lax.
And I thought it was
Dakota West loves the Lax.
I thought that was the silliest shit. I thought they were kidding.
Have you seen how many YouTube views they've got? It'll make you sick. They have like 12 million views on when they're riding around on ATVs.
And I'm like, dude, I've had parties that's just like that. I didn't know you could sing a silly song. Titties hanging out. Titties hanging out.
I'd much rather hear that than the Lax all night.
Titties hanging out.
Dude, I swear, I'm gonna book the Lax just so I can get Mark Grubel and Nathan Key to go up and jackknife kick them in the jaw and break their jaw on stage before they're allowed to sing one note on the damn mic. I'm gonna book them just for that. I can go on the record for that. The Lax suck.
I can dig it. Okay, well, I'd have to agree with Cam on that. The Lax fucking suck.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna give you my honest truth. Like, you want to know?
See, a friend of mine, and I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, but a friend of mine did sound for him and said he couldn't believe the crowd because the crowd was crunk. They had a good time and everything.
There are people that love them,
but they sucked.
They crushed crush Coyotes.
Sound wise, they suck.
They pack out Coyotes in advance. They sell out every single time they play there.
And see, I don't know whether I should blame them or for placating to those people, or blame those people for.
You should blame the people, I guess, but not them. They're just all for them. Like,
I mean, I guess they're just trying.
Good on them for what I say. Like, good on Dakota and Charlie Sconners for having them down there and knowing when to have them and who to market to, and good on those guys for playing live music and having some people that dig it. Apparently.
I mean, a lot of people would probably think that I'm maybe we're talking out the side of our face, but I mean, it's just an opinion. You can take it or leave it. Don't get offended. Don't take it personally, because it's not anything.
I'd tell everybody, like, I rip Florida Georgia Line wide openly, but you give me a good rate on them, I'm the first to book them.
Right?
I'm a sellout. I'm
gonna bring them boys straight to your venue.
Yeah.
I
might hate them.
I'm gonna give you
I might hate them, but you gonna buy their tickets. So.
All right. So if you could ask God one question right now, what would you ask him?
Why did my friend Eric Marshall die 5 years ago?
And how did he die?
Of a heart attack playing basketball, and he's a basketball star.
How old was he?
24, 25.
Whoa.
Yeah, playing pickup game. He played, he was a McDonald's High School All-American at Greenbrier, the only one in Columbia County history. He played at Wofford, had just had his second child, was married, yeah, and died playing pickup ball at Warren Road Gym. And that would be the question I ask God. I don't have any. I totally believe in God. I don't have any like spiritual questions. I would just ask why him, why then, why in that act, why not?
Yeah. Did you ever know Ian Drakely?
No.
He ran the Highlander, and for a long time there, and he had passed away. And he and I were really close, but it taught me a lot. You know, and I have this weird relationship with death, and I don't really think that it's an ending of anything. I think it's more of a beginning, or more or less a changing of a chapter, a different chapter, turning of the page, or whatever you want to call it. But you don't stop being just because you died. And so his death, you know, literally we were planning to get together the next day, have lunch, and he died like right as I was calling him. He pretty much killed over. And so, and from heart attack, from heart failure, from respiratory, because he had real bad asthma.
I think I've heard of that. Wasn't he friends? He's friends with Bateman. Good friends with Bateman.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, Ian knew everybody. Yeah. Ian knew everybody. It was insane. Like, you know, I thought I knew a bunch of people. Whenever you go around with Ian, man, it'd be like everybody knew Ian. And his death taught me a lot. And you know, I think that a lot of times, maybe you have things like that happen, people around you have things like that happen because there's a lesson to be learned in it. And, you know, that's what and, you know, my thoughts on the other side are kind of weird. So I think that we kind of choose our roles before we come into this life. And then we don't really know what it is because it's kind of blocked from us. And the ultimate observer tries to search for it, but you know, it's a difficult task. But bottom line is say I decided I was going to come back as a gay guy. Then the people that are around me, my soul circle, right, my soul group, they're having to learn a lesson through me that they have to learn in order to get past that thing that blocks them in their head from thinking that is a bad, and then they're going to spew evilness or hatefulness or any of that stuff. And it teaches you about unconditional love. And whenever it comes down to the end of it, I think that all of it's about loving unconditionally, and that's the lesson. And all of it, that's the lesson. And all of it.
I think you could be. I mean, I don't personally agree with everything you just said, but I mean, just that general view of, I mean, like Christianity, big principle is like good deeds don't get you into heaven, but they sure don't push you towards hell. I mean, I put that on my Facebook or something the other day. But like, I truly believe that. I mean, it's, you know, what are the odds that me and you were sitting in this room talking today a year ago? We didn't know, look at us, like, you know,
right.
You know, stuff like that. And like, when you gain an appreciation, when you walk in their shoes, go through the driver's eyes, so to speak, type thing, like, it really changes your perspective. And you talk about the gay thing, like, I had derogatory thoughts towards gay people and then moved to New York. And when I lived in New York, I told everybody, like, it is very commonplace up there. And I'm a fiscal conservative politically and all that, but like socially, like, it changed me, man. Like, they are good citizens, and I have no problem with. I don't want to see it, just like I don't want to see heterosexual
Right.
couples making out in front of me anywhere. But like,
Yeah.
it does make you gain.
But I don't want to. I don't want to
appreciation.
watch old people have sex either.
No, I don't want to watch anybody.
And
have
see, it
sex.
says right here on my arm. It says, "One word of kindness is worth a million cries for help." And I've been saying that since I was a kid because I was brought up in the Baptist church, Southern Baptist Church,
Me too.
and I saw a lot of hypocrisy around me.
God,
and as a child, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to be like that. This is bullshit. I was like, no matter what I'm going to be in my life, I'm not going to be like that.
Well,
What I say is what I mean, and what I mean is what I say.
Yep.
End of story. And also, if I tell you that I'm going to do something, I'm going to fucking do it. That's the fucking point of the whole thing. It despises me whenever people say they're going to do something and they don't follow through. As far as I'm concerned, that's the measure of a person, period, female or male, because you could be in the desert butt-ass naked and all you could have is your word. That's the only thing you can have that you know that is yours, because if you break your word and you're common at breaking your word and nobody fucking trusts you, then fuck you. I mean, you know that you're no good. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what your social status is. That eventually you're not gonna have people around you that love you and that are real.
It's gonna catch up to you.
Yeah,
It's
it
like I
will
tell
definitely
everyone.
catch up with you.
And I mean, I've battled some of that.
Well, speaking of, why don't you speak on that? Because I read that article in the Spirit, and
Yeah.
they plainly said your name, and I thought
they didn't say my name.
they didn't.
No, they didn't.
Well,
say
see, the person that told me about the article
Told me
it was
Right.
about you, and then I read the article and I was like, how would a publication take a side like that? That kind of was weird.
It was a complete crock of shit. I mean, it was a total crock of shit.
So it wasn't about you?
No, it was about me. It was definitely about me. Absolutely, it was about me. The dollar amount in question was nowhere close. It was $150, and it says 8 something or something in it. And the guy the guy was just completely wrong, and he's just a low life piece of shit, to be honest with you. But the lady that was in question wanted money back from a charity event that I didn't. All I was doing was helping them as a promoter for the charity event. She wanted money back as a vendor. She vended. I'll tell you who it was. Neapolitan Cupcakes. She owns Neapolitan Cupcakes. She has a relationship of some sort with Joe White. Not I'm saying romantically or whatever, but it has business sense. And she's the one that had him put it in there. Whether he put it in there or she did, I'll go right now and say it. Like, that's the reason it was in there. I owed her, or she thought I owed her $150 from something that went to a charity because she went out there and said she didn't sell well. A $150 vendor fee. Well, the Jenny Clark Memorial Scholarship is not in Cam Griffin's bank account. Let me just tell you. I made 10% off her. I made $15 off of her entry fee. She demanded that I get her money back. And I was like, well, no, it's to a charity. There was no guarantee you're going to go out here and sell a ton of cupcakes. I don't know.
Right.
It was just like a general opportunity. Like, it's not my fault if she can't market well or she can't get people to buy them or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it also isn't my obligation to give that money back, and that's what it was. It was a $150 dispute where she claimed that I owed her the money back from the Jenny Clark Memorial Scholarship, which is ran by Tom Clark, not by Cam Griffin.
Well, what's weird is that $150 doesn't seem like enough money to slander somebody over.
For a charity too,
That's
and that I'm not even connected to. I just brought her the vendor form and picked up her check for the charity and took it to the guy that runs the charity. And he blew it off, which he well should have. And she should have just shut up about it like most people would have. But no, and that was exactly like, I've wanted the same thing, $150. Dear God, like, I've written off losses of, I mean, almost like thousands, hundreds, whatever dollars with people and not even held it against them,
Mm-hmm.
And like $150 to a charity where you you saw it. She made some money. Like, I don't know what she made or didn't make.
It's sad to me whenever somebody doesn't know how business works.
And
because you're going to have losses, you're going to have gains, you're going to have times where you break even, you're going to have times where you can have a windfall to where you're able to give a whole bunch of money to a charity. But sometimes, money is such a tricky thing with me too. People are so fucking weird about money. And I like to have all my business out in the open. And I'm saying, like, look at this, I want it to be transparent. The money that comes through the Soulcast, the money that comes through Happy Bones, all of that stuff. I have musicians that play in the band that I have to pay. And if I'm giving them a fair wage, I'm telling them, this is what we make, this is what you're going to get. and then that way it's all transparent. Everybody sees what's going on. I hate all this backwards bullshit where see, what really bugs me is I had one guy that was booking, and he would go and he would tell the promoter and charge the venue one thing, and then tell us that he charged another thing, and was pocketing the difference.
Right.
And oh man,
where he should have just been up front and be like, "Hey, will you give me 10 to 15% or whatever?
Right,
Let me get you a higher number."
Sure,
Yeah.
let's do this, man. Let's work together on this. But because I'm the artist, and all I want to do is get on the fucking stage and play, man. Come on.
But I tell everyone, like, that article also said something about me with charities or something. Like, if they want to ask about charity, ask the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, in particular Ryan Forster and Jen Davis, who just ran for Man and Woman of the Year, were at the gala. I dropped like $500. During the same week, I had Funk You do a double benefit, one for the Golden Harvest Food Bank, which call Travis McNeil, who runs the Golden Harvest Food Bank, and he'll let you know, where I got all the alcohol donated for free, had the band play for free. Like, had them after that go play a benefit with Touchy Touchy in them for the National Kidney Foundation at Surrey, which I took zero off of. All of that. Took nothing off of it. Got Funk You 2 vans to take to Wakarusa and some gas cards. That was the trade out on my end. And I had to give away tickets to my show. I tell everyone like that, that I didn't take credit for helping out with those things. I didn't even attach my name to it, business to it, anything. It was just something that I like to do, and that was, when I have something like that says something about charity, like that pisses me off.
Right, right.
I mean, this is woman's like demanding a vendor fee.
Yeah, you don't just throw shit around like that.
No, but I didn't respond to it, and I tell everyone like I'd rather not even like take a response.
Yeah, you just feed into it. All right. Well, that being said, if you want to come and be on the show with Cam and talk to him person to person about this, come on, we'll do this again.
Bring it on.
So, so I appreciate your candidness. I appreciate you being on the show today.
I appreciate you having me. It's a good thing you guys are doing over here.
Yeah, we're having fun, man. We're having fun with it. And you have anything coming up? Is there something that you want to say cap off the day and let people know how they can get in touch with you?
Well, I'm pretty easy through Facebook. You can just friend me. I'll friend anybody. I tell everyone. But also, we do have the Montgomery Gentry Show on Friday, September 19th with Ray Fulcher and County Line, Kenny George Band, Jeremy Graham Band, all opening up. Tomorrow at Surreal, Jeremy Graham Band will be down there. They hardly ever play in Augusta, but they're
standing in the corner. I got my head in. I'm sorry. I was singing Jeremy Graham.
Was that a song?
Yeah, it was a song.
I'm not even familiar.
They got a video on the YouTube.
That sounds funny. I'm gonna make him sing.
It's called Early Monday Morning.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely check that out now. Man, I appreciate you having me.
I appreciate you being here, man. I appreciate it. And that has been episode 13 of the Soulcast. We'll catch y'all next week.
You'll never be the same because you have been listening to the Soulcast with your host, Happy Bones. We'll see you next week.